All right, everybody, welcome back. Got the clutch parts showed up finally. I was kind of hee-hawing back and forth. I was going to try and buy a disc, and I ended up just buying a whole clutch kit. But I got my flywheel cleaned up. I just took some 320 grit sandpaper and just kind of cleaned it up. Looks pretty good. Pilot bearing's all good there. I was a little nervous about, I could have just bought a disc online, but I ended up just going through my parts people because I can, if something wasn't right, I could take it back. It wasn't an issue, so, but everything was right, so I don't have to worry about that. But I got a new pressure plate, throwout bearing, pilot bearing, clutch tool, disc, all the good stuff. But I wanted to show you guys here sorry about my furnace running, but you can see, if I can get you squared up here, you can see the difference. You can see how this disc is all rust jacked right through here. And there's quite a bit of difference between the new disc and the old disc. It's quite a bit thinner, so hopefully my clutch dragging issues are going to be resolved. I'm going to reuse my original pressure plate because I already have all my spacers and bolts already set up for this one, and there's nothing wrong with this one. I just took some memory cloth and cleaned it up a little bit. So I'm going to go with that. But we got our disc. Next thing I need to do is I need to chop that. No, I need to cut about 1/4 of an inch or so off of that center hub so I can get it closer to the flywheel. But I'll bring you back here in a minute when we start doing that. So as you can see, I got this disc pushed in. It's hitting the pilot bearing, and I got a gap here. So I got to cut, I don't know, 1/4, 3/8 of an inch or so off of that sticking out there so I can get that clutch into that flywheel. That was the whole reason for that. It's a price you pay for mismatching parts, so we're going to get that. I'm going to cut this off here 1/4 inch or so. That way that'll go right into that flywheel like it's supposed to, and then it'll be good enough for this beauty. Let me get my cutoff wheel out and we'll get after it. Alright everyone, welcome back. I got this clutch disc. I got it clamped down my Bridgeport here, but I cut this off. I just took my cutoff wheel and cut it. You can see I didn't take very much. There's not very much for splines there, but I decided I wanted to go a little bit more, give myself a little bit more clearance. And I decided to maybe put it in the Bridgeport here and do a little better job. You can see it did pretty good there. I just cut it off and filed it, but it could probably be straightened out a little bit. So, of course, this disc is too big. I can't put it in my lathe and do it that way. So we got to monkey around over here. But let me get you set up and we'll see how this goes. Alright, well I just touched off on it and I just raised my table up. I can zoom in a little bit. I raised my table up 20 thousandths. So let's do a run across there and see how it goes. Alright, that didn't go too bad. Let's raise her up another 20, I guess. Alright, well, so that's about 40 thousandths. I don't know how much further I want to go. I'm going to have to do a little measuring here and thinking about it, but I'll bring you back when we get done. Alright, well, we're done with the mill. I ended up taking 100 thousandths off. It fits in there nice. I think I got plenty of clearance now between my clutch disc and my pilot bearing. I just took a little file and cleaned up them couple little burrs I had in there. It looks a lot better now versus cutting it off with a cutoff wheel and hitting it with a file. It looks 100 times better now. I wouldn't say factory, but pretty close enough for me. And I really don't think we sacrificed any integrity of the clutch. I mean, this is 10 horsepower on the drawbar, so I think we'll be just fine. But I think we're good. Let's put her back together and go from there. Move on to something else. Alright, everything's in there. Got the bolts all tight, got my spacers in. Put some blue Loctite on the bolts, torqued everything down. Should be ready to go. I need to get my coupler and my release bearing put together now, and this thing will be ready for the races. The best part about it is once you put the belt pulley and the cover on, nobody on earth besides me and you will know that's in there. So alright, we're going to keep going. Alright guys, well, we're still fighting with this thing. Run into a little bit of a snag. I had a hard time getting that release bearing set up, put back together. And I think the issue is that new disc is quite a bit thinner than the old one. And I think my clutch fingers are out that much further because it's letting that pressure plate go that much further in. And I had a hard time getting this thing put in there. It's in there, but there's no free travel at all. So I think I need to think about this for a minute. I don't know if I should maybe throw that other disc on there and try it. I wanted to stay with what I got because I had this all built. I mean, it's not a big deal. I almost need to I need to take the center piece and put it in a lathe and cut like a 1/4 of an inch off of it. I might end up doing that, but I think for right now I'm gonna stop, think about this a little bit. I don't know if maybe I'll put that other clutch pressure plate on there, see if it's any better. I don't know. Maybe if I sleep on it, something will come to me in the middle of the night. But I think that's all for today, guys. We're gonna call it quits right here, and we'll talk to you soon.